Welcome! It's February, the shortest month of the year, and holy smokes, it's flying by. So today is the 22nd, and this week just flew by. Monday was a holiday. We had a snow day on the 13th and the 16th, and I had a lot of time in my car this week. There was a lot of appointments and then my normal driving and everything, and I just need to take a little bit of time and get organized this weekend, and our dishwasher quit. We're just going to leave it for now. We don't want to rush into anything. We do want to get our kitchen renovated and all of that. We don't want to make any, rush decisions. So I'm just kind of hand washing everything. So right now it's 9 o'clock. We had a little bit of a later breakfast. I took out some lean ground beef. I'm going to make hamburger helper for dinner. I got to deal with these bananas. I got all the dishes washed and then they just sit here. They get put away. It's normally not by me. That's kind of the way we're doing it. And then I did make some dough. So I took my sandwich dough recipe and I'm going to try to make hamburger buns. So I bought this silicone thing off of Amazon. It makes 7 buns. So I want to play around with it. And once I have everything perfected and all of that, I'll share more of it with you. But I had a lot of downtime this week, like in between appointments, like a half hour here, an hour there. So I was kind of looking in stores and, killing time and everything. So when I was at Winners, I saw that they had these 2 Martha Stewart loaf pans, the exact same size. They were $7 each, and I thought I would pick them up because I'm trying to experiment with pans. And I have 2 pans that I'm using, but they're very different sizes. So I thought this would be good to have and just kind of figure everything out. So sometimes you have to buy some things, try a few things out, and go from there. I also need to put a little bit more time into my goal for 2025, putting all of the pieces together. I found like the last 2 weeks were just kind of like life was happening and I need to get a little bit more focused. And when I was in at Winners, they had these markers and I decided to pick them up. I realized that they were alcohol markers. I saw them before and then there was some different colors and everything in here. And I thought I might give them a try in case any of you saw them at the store and was wondering about them. So I thought, let's pick them up and see how they are. So I got them today. I haven't really looked to see if there's anything online. I'm also a little bit behind on my laundry, but not too much. So I have a load folded and I think I have 2 more loads to do today and then I'm back on track. So, meals have been okay. There's some baking that I want to do and my fridge is full. And there was some produce in that I got at Costco that I haven't really planned very good for. I had a plan, but it didn't all go through. But anyways, I need to get the grapes cleaned. Everything else is working out. I have some pancakes for the weekend. And then I did get some zucchini and green peppers that I need to kind of deal with soon because when I bought them, I had all of the best of intentions and everything. And then the week was just really busy and just a little bit overwhelming, especially with the dishwasher and everything quitting. But I need to get back on track and I want to have a good balanced weekend without, the whole weekend in the kitchen or decluttering and doing all of that. So the Kirkland eggs, I don't see that big of a difference with the yolks. So I don't think I would buy these again for just like that specific reason of the yolks. I still have some of that jam left that I made, but I'm not going to focus too much on that this weekend. I do want to get some things cleaned up and then just use up, I have some beef broth. I had to get butter. I needed some things this week and I'm just trying to get back on track with everything after that Costco haul and then not really having any kind of little groceries that I needed to help me with dinners. So this morning I just kind of did a brain dump, a little bit of what I want to get done this weekend, what are my meals going to look like, and then a little bit of a strategy for what my week is going to look like too. So I've been trying a couple of things, but I just need to have somewhere where I kind of have like an idea of what my week's going to look like. What are my videos going to be? What's going on and what's my game plan other than everyday life? When do I fit in all of these little things that I'm trying to accomplish in 2025? Hello, everybody. So here we are. I just need a day at home. I really just need a day at home where I don't have to drive. This week I had kind of an idea of what the week was going to look like. And then when our dishwasher quit, it was okay. We're okay with it. My family ring, I thought a little clasp kind of broke off and just needed to be kind of fixed, but it turns out it was the half the ring. I don't know what happened, but it needs to be all kind of rebuilt and everything. So I don't have my family ring for a month, so I feel very weird without it because I don't wear my engagement ring. I wear my wedding band and my family ring because to me that's what is important to me. And the other thing that I wasn't expecting this week was how draining it was to drive. because we had those 2 big snow days and it got really cold and it was windy and there was just so much snow, and we haven't really had that for the past couple of winters. Like, we've had pretty mild winters with a little bit of snow here and there, but for the most part it's been pretty easy to deal with. But this week, like, the snowbanks were so high, like it was really hard to see at certain intersections. Like, if it was a 4-way stop it was okay, but if there was through traffic and you had to stop or backing out of driveways or doing any of that, like, it was really hard because, you know, everybody kind of needed to get where they needed to be, and some people were a little bit more cautious and some people were just full blast. But got through the week and I just felt like I wasn't organized. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, and that's okay. As always, life is gonna happen, but I want to take a little bit of time today to get back on track and do some things. But it's not gonna be like a to-do checklist and this and that. There's things that need to get done today. So I definitely know that I need to make dinner, my daily 5. We're gonna get out, enjoy some fresh air because it's gonna be a little bit milder today. My laundry, I'm gonna get caught up with that. I'm gonna do a little bit of me time and some decluttering and all of that. So I also know that I need to get my dinners video done today. So I have a strategy of what my upload schedule is gonna be, and I think for March I'm gonna try Tuesday, Friday, Sunday. And then if I feel like there's certain videos, they'll be uploaded throughout that. And then my goal is to do Veda, a video every day in April, and then stick to those 3 kind of consistent videos. So that way for Vlogmas or Vlogtober or Vlogust or whatever the future holds, like, I really want to do those vlogging months and to have my regular videos and then a video every day. So maybe it would be a cook dinner with me, maybe it would be a baking video, maybe it would be spend the morning with me, or like, you know, what's in my closet or something like that. I want to get back to old school YouTube with a little bit of, you know, what people like to see with dinners and a day in a life. So that has always been my goal, is to keep the old ways of YouTube, because I miss the old days of YouTube and I just really miss the simplicity of the videos and all of that, but trying to find that balance with everything. So anyways, how much is left in my timer?
You have 21 minutes left on your 1 hour and 30 minute timer.
So I have 21 minutes left on my timer. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna sit at the table and I'm just gonna pick a page to color, something quick and easy. I wanna try those new markers and just kind of let my brain kind of just flow. And I felt like Sheryl Crow needed a little bit of music today, so that is what I've been listening to. My husband said Fleetwood Mac and I said no, I already listened to that this week, and I haven't listened to Sheryl Crow in a while, and for some reason I just felt like she was what I needed to listen to today. So we're gonna listen to a little bit of Sheryl Crow and try out the new markers with a little bit of coloring before my timer goes off. I did a quick Google search on these markers and I found a couple of pages, but it looks like United Kingdom, Sweden, Finland, I think that's where they might be from. I did see them on Amazon for a small pack and they were pretty pricey, but it was probably people that picked them up and try to resell them. But anyways, I have this winter coloring book. I'm going to do some hats and everything, but I just took a little glance at the Cozy Girl spring coloring book and I think I might order it. These winter ones will be good for next year, but I'm really feeling spring and florals and pastels. Just after the couple of weeks we've had with winter, I'm really feeling like I want to color a little bit for that spring motivation. My first impressions are, I think they're pretty good. I was happy with the quality of them. I think this would be a great starter pack. It has a little bit of everything in here, and I was happy with it. I like the chisel tip and the fine point. I know some of them have the brush tips, but it's not my favorite. I find it's hard to kind of be precise with it, but I only felt like doing a couple because I just wanted to get the dishes and everything going. So here's what they look like. And then on the side, it looks like there's multiple languages. So that might be, I don't know, Swedish and Finnish and whatever languages and everything, but I know there's a lot of people that watch my videos and all of that. So maybe if you're in a different part of the world, maybe you would be able to find these. So I just wanted to share another check-in with the time. So I got the dough all separated and made the buns, so that's in the oven doing its second rise. I got some of the dishes cleaned up, and then I also went ahead and got the grapes rinsed and everything to be able to eat these for lunch and put them in the fridge for the week. So here it is, a little after 11. I worked on some editing, getting that all done and taken care of, and the buns are looking pretty nice. I don't know, they seem a little bit big for hamburger buns, but I really wanted to try and use a mold because I just didn't know if I was going to be able to shape them and all that, and I thought that would help the process. So anyways, then I was looking for a recipe for my banana bread, and then I was reading the comments about the little mini loaves, and then I remembered I bought this pan, never used it, so I think I'm going to try this whenever I go to make the banana muffins, banana bread, or whatever. My plan was to do this on the Saturday, but it just didn't end up happening. But at least I got the pan out, and I just thought this would be nice to try instead of like the big loaf because I find it takes forever, and I just thought it'd be a little bit better than the muffins too because I could slice it up. So anyways, I have some recipes, Saturday buns, hamburger helper, the banana bread, the dinners video, laundry. I'm doing some printing, doing some, list making and all of that for the month. There's a couple of videos that I want to work on, like a declutter bingo and then thrifting and all of that. So I'm doing a little bit of the behind the scenes because I didn't have any of this kind of organized throughout the week. So, if I would have had a little bit of downtime, I would have been better organized. So I have a little bit of what my game plan is. The meals already changed from then. I thought about doing chicken fajitas on Sunday, but I wanted to clean some stuff out. So that's what I said. Even though I think my meal plan is going to look a certain way, it already changes so much. So anyways, just forget all of this, and then I'm going to do a separate video this week talking about my meal plans and getting organized in my kitchen. So we'll leave that for another video. And while I was waiting for the bread to finish its second rise, I finished off the hats. I've seen all of these hats, like toques, we call them here, but that red one, I've never seen one like that before, and I don't know, the little things made me think of cherries, so I just decided to go with like a pink and a red, but a little bit of bleeding there, but it's gonna happen. It's not gonna be perfect. And I was also in a little bit of a hurry. I really like the gray and yellow, but anyways, the markers, I was happy with them. I'm glad I picked them up. I'm getting a little bit of variety, but because I buy the cheaper ones, and the thing with the alcohol markers, like you can refill them, they do dry out if you use them a lot. So I like to have a little bit of variety for less price than the great big ones that cost like $300-400, because even with all the markers I have, it's just a fraction of the price of the big hoo-hoo markers. And I'm loving these Lego flowers. I've been looking at other kits, but I want to do it properly. I want to get a spring coloring book. I'd like to get some flowers for the spring, but I want to take a look and see what's at Costco, what goes on sale, and not just buy them because, I want to have them. I want to do it properly and make it part of the changing of my decor. So anyways, loving the roses, loving the coloring, but I'm ready to go into March and thinking a little bit more about spring after the last couple of weeks of a lot of winter in this month of February. I also wanted to do a little check-in because I haven't really looked at this in the past 2 weeks. So organizing the home decor, I'm working on it, decluttering the furnace room, my office, the garage. A lot of this stuff is going to take longer, and it was unrealistic to think that I was going to get it done in this short amount of time with everything going on. But my Costco, I'm working on my content routine, enjoying the month. I think I have a good starting point, and for March and April, I kind of thought about doing the closets and all of that. It's not going to take me 2 full months. So I think some of my February goals are going to carry over into March, and then do a decluttering strategy too for the month. So I want to get that organized this weekend so that when I have a little bit of downtime, I can fit that in and be productive. So St. Patrick's Day, Easter, spring, I'm already kind of feeling that. And then March, April, closets, bedrooms, clothes. I'm going to be working a little bit on that in March and then kind of finish it in April. But anyways, you know, making a house a home, the decluttering, all of that, that's ongoing. And I think for February I had a starting point, but it's definitely not all going to get done this month. And it's okay. So my plan is to have that video up on Friday to share with you my process, and then also preparing for what I want to do in the month of March for all of that other stuff. So like, again, that will be another video, but I'm just trying to get everything organized. So here's my Hamburg buns. Pretty big. Anyway, Steve got those cups. He didn't like them. I tried a cup in them and they're very, very tight, like with a handle, but he said they'd be perfect for the big water like mugs, so we're gonna end up donating them. They were only $10. The boys are looking at those buns, so anyways, I just wanted to cut one open. I'm just gonna make a quick sandwich for hubby for lunch, and then Andrew and I, we were having breakfast sandwiches and all of that, and then I wanted to clean up a few things too, but I really wanted to have the buns to go with dinner and then see if I can freeze them too. So they're pretty big, not the right recipe, so I need to find like a Hamburg bun recipe. So if you have one, share it down below. What do you do? I really want to make more of this stuff from scratch, but all good things take time. It's 5 hours later. We had a wonderful afternoon. It was mild out, but it was very gray and dreary. But I am making homemade hamburger helper for dinner tonight. I have a video I'll link down below that really shows you the whole process, and I try and use vegetables with it. So I think the video I did, I used like carrots and celery, and this time I'm using green peppers because I picked some like Loblaw stores. They sell like imperfect vegetables. So I got this big, large bag of green peppers for $8. I'm not sure if the price was great. They were definitely imperfect, but they were perfect for cutting up and using them in recipes, so I was glad to have them. So I'm just cutting up 2 of them, and then I'm going to add them in here. And the real reason I wanted to do this was it was a quick, easy dinner. It was a one-pot dinner, and then I also had the beef broth that was in my fridge from when I made chili on the weekend. So I didn't have quite the 3 cups, so I just used the beef broth that I had and then added a little bit of water, just some salt, some pepper, some onion powder, garlic powder, and then chili powder. But you can really use whatever spices that you want, or cleaned up some things. Just having that proper ratio for the liquids. Now it did call for 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and that's the one thing about these tubes. I find they're really hard to get everything out of it, but I think last time I might have used a whole can of tomato paste. I love tomato paste, but I think next time I just open up a can of tomato paste, use half and then freeze half of it instead of buying this tube all the time. So like I said, I didn't have enough of the beef broth, but I just finished it off with about, you know, 1/3 of a cup of water to get it all done. So anyways, I'm just going to cook this all and then bring it to a boil and then add in the macaroni and just kind of keep checking in on it so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. And then I was still able to have it all come together to have dinner on the table for 5:30. And then I need cheese, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the rest of this cheese and get it shredded. And of course the supervisors showed up for their shift, so they needed to get paid. This is one of my favorite things about doing YouTube, is seeing things from a different perspective, and I love my boys so much. And they always know, like, carrots and cheese, like they always get a little bit because they know mama's shredding the cheese. Linus can't have too much, but Hunter loves it. But anyways, I just have to add the cheese into this after whenever the macaroni and everything cooks. So I'm just trying to tidy up as I go and then cleaning up the dishes and everything as I go. And I just am spraying everything with Dawn Power Wash and then just washing it under as hot a water as I can stand with it. I don't want to have like a big dish pan of water and everything. So far it's been working. I just scrub everything really good. I know Dawn Power Wash isn't the cheapest thing, but I do find it helps me. So the buns were pretty thick, and I'm just going to butter them. I just took 2 of them and cut them up and then just have them ready to go. And this is what I love about like the weekends when everybody's home, like having the dinners come together and everything. I really enjoy the whole process, and like homemaking, it definitely changes over the years, but I think I've fallen back in love with some of it. But I also know that it's not going to be an everyday thing that I can make all of this stuff from scratch. Like, I'm really trying to find the balance with everything and try to find the perfect recipes. I didn't measure the cheese and all of that. I just dumped it all in. So I'm just going to stir it up, add a little bit more pepper, let the cheese melt, and then get my plates and everything up and get it all plated so everybody can enjoy it. And I think this is one of the things that I really enjoy. And then just putting it on the table, we all sit down and eat. And then I knew this was a dinner that everybody was going to love. And of course, the boys are making sure that I do everything properly. And then I also want to get it in the container, and then that way I can spray it with the Dawn Power Wash. So it just makes it that much easier for cleanup, because I love to do things, but I don't want to be stuck in the kitchen all night cleaning up. So I try and do things as I go. And I find when I'm organized, it's easy to do that. So anyways, there is the hamburger helper with a nice fresh bun. It was delicious. It was good. And the best thing is that there's going to be leftovers. And that's always my goal, is to try and have some kind of leftovers for lunch or a dinner for Andrew. It is now Sunday. We were out for a bit, and then we just stopped at Walmart just to get a few things. I found like that last week, that was what I was missing, was kind of, getting the few little produce things or all those other things that we're kind of running low on. And then having to go into the store, like I just felt like it took up time. So we got a few things at Walmart that we needed, some different produce too. So we got orange juice, and then the small cans of popsicles. We didn't have our extra box and all of that, and I always want to make sure that I have all those staples and everything. And then I kind of had a strategy of what my meals and everything were going to look like. So I'm just doing a little bit of cleaning and maintenance and all of that. So instead of like putting all of the groceries and everything out, I think this is the way that I'll try and share it. So we needed bubble bath, then the Dawn Power Wash. They were on sale for like $4. I think they were a couple of dollars off, so I got a couple of them and then just put them away. And then these are just going to go on the stairs, and then whoever goes upstairs will take them up to the bathroom. And then this one here, a couple of salad kits, some pepperoni. I got green beans, snow peas, snap peas or whatever, some green onions, some tartar sauce for fish that we got. And then the raspberries were on sale. And then Andrew wanted ice cream. The box that he wanted to get was 8 for $10, but then these Chapman ones were $5 each. So I said, Andrew, put that back and get 2 of these. So it's 10 of them for the same price. So $1 a drumstick, that's a pretty good price. So I'm just going to get everything put away, and then I feel like I'm better organized for this coming week. Even though my meal plan, I have an idea of what I make, but I know it's going to be a much better week. I am finally attacking the bananas. It's a recipe from Sally's Baking Addiction. I'll link it down below. So I just put them in a bowl, mash them up with my fork. And I do want to put some walnuts in here. And then I have like some yogurt I want to use up. It calls for sour cream and then chocolate chips. I have a little handy chopper, but I actually prefer doing it with a knife. And especially since I am washing everything by hand, it's just easier for me to do. So anyways, I do want to have a little bit of texture and everything in here. So I'm going to put the nuts away. And then I'm just using my handheld mixer to wet up all of the wet ingredients, and then just using my spatula for everything else. And then I'm just going to spray them. I've never used this loaf pan before, and I want to make them in the loaf pan, so I'm going to experiment a little bit and see how they turn out. But I'm kind of excited about it. The little mini loaves, and I thought this would be great for freezing too. And then I thought maybe these would be really great to make mini meatloaves too, just to make it a little bit quicker. And then I could freeze them or shape them, and then it would be easier to do it. So I'm experimenting a little bit with different pans, how I can fill up my freezer without spending a whole day like doing freezer cooking and all of that. Like, what can I make for dinner? What can we eat? And then what can I also freeze to help me in the future? Okay, I set them for 20 minutes at first to see how it's going to go, and then I set another 10-minute timer because they were definitely taking longer. So I do have some of these buns left. My plan is to use some of them for dinner tonight. Once again, just keeping up on the dishes. Normally I'd sit on my phone and scroll and all that, so I'm just trying to, make my time and use it wisely. We weren't happy with our Samsung dishwasher. I'd never buy another one. I'm loving the Dawn Power Wash. We're looking at an LG dishwasher, so if you have any feedback, I would greatly appreciate it. But once again, we don't want to rush into anything. We just want to take our time and figure out when the timing is right. So for now, I'm just going to wash my dishes by hand. And I like the way that they came out. Less was better, but some of them were a little bit bigger, but they came out really easy. I'm very happy with them. Very cute little pans. So now it's 5 o'clock. There they are cooling. And I'm not really in the mood to make dinner. I'm kind of procrastinating because I definitely find that the days are getting longer. So I just sprayed that with the Dawn Power Wash, and then I'll clean that a little bit later. But the snow is definitely melting. Like, we can see our deck, frosty, and the barbecue. Like, everything has really come down. But I just wanted to do a little bit of coloring. So I looked through here and I thought this was a cute little like spring picture, but I'm definitely going to order a spring coloring book. So I'm going to do a little bit of coloring just with a little bit of the snow on there on my little mouse. This is what I felt like I needed to do now instead of making dinner. It's about 10 after 5 right now. Linus is supervising. His sense of smell isn't as good as Hunter's, so I think Hunter knows that it's mushrooms. It's not a favorite. So anyways, I'm taking the last of the mini Bella mushrooms that I got from Costco and slicing them up from dinner. And the other thing is I'm paying attention to what I got at Costco, what I want to repurchase and what I don't want to like purchase again. So I'm just kind of taking a mental note, and that's why I kept everything. So that's all on my channel if you want to watch more of that. So I have a little bit of olive oil, just going to put the mushrooms in, and I'm making a meatless meal for my husband and I. And I just said to Steve, is it okay if we don't have meat for dinner? And he goes, what? We don't have any meat? And I said, yeah, we have meat, but I just didn't want to take anything out. So I want to finish up the Alfredo. Andrew's going to have the hamburger helper. So I took the buns and I cut them into thirds because I'm just going to go ahead and make some garlic bread to go with dinner tonight. So I had some butter out. So I just put it in a bowl and then I'm mushing it up. And then I'm just going to add some garlic powder to it and then just work it all in and then put it on the buns. And then there was some butter left and I just put it in the fridge to use that as a later date. And it was so funny. Like, this morning, Steve's like, what is this? And I'm like, it's garlic butter. And he goes, oh, I thought it was like frosting or something. I'm like, no, it's garlic butter. It's something I could use again, or I could put it in with like mashed potatoes. Like, I don't want to waste it. So it's just one of those little things, like when you're organized, like it's just everything comes together and it really doesn't take a lot of work. So I'm just sauteing the mushrooms down and then I'm just going to finish off that Alfredo sauce that I got at Costco. I had a box of fettuccine that was open, so I want to weigh it because they say like 2 ounces of pasta serving. So I could have dumped the whole box in, but it was more than what I needed. So I'm just going to measure. I think it ended up being a little bit over the 4 ounces, but this is kind of how I do it. So 4.37 ounces, so a little bit more. And then I have some old like white cheddar cheese. It's a little bit stronger, but it's what I had. So I'm just going to shred this up. I don't think I need all of it. So it's probably going to go back in the fridge. And, you know, I'm just making sure that everything on the stove like is getting heated up thoroughly and all of that. And just kind of bouncing around from here to there and then trying to keep up on top of the dishes and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the Alfredo now. I wouldn't buy this again. I found for the price, I think it was $9 for 2 jars. They were a pretty big size. I found getting the smaller one at, you know, the grocery store is good, but my goal is to make my own Alfredo sauce and everything, so that's the future. But anyways, I wanted to finish this off, and it finished up the mushrooms. I was using the buns that I made. Andrew had hamburger helper and everything, so I need to get that out and get that heated up. So I'm just putting a little bit of parsley and all that in here too, and just kind of making 2 dinners. And like I said, I did this in less than 30 minutes. So I have the garlic butter on here, just putting a little bit of the cheese, and then this is going to go into the oven while everything else comes together. A little bit of parsley on top, and then just making sure that I don't waste anything either. So just putting the butter into a little container that I can use another time. This is the kind of cooking that I love, where I'm not like following recipes. I'm just kind of like using what I have, having dinner come together. So I did put a little bit of the pasta water in. I don't really feel like I needed it. The hamburger helper is heating up. I have the buns in the oven. I had them on broil. The buns were toasting up, but the cheese didn't really brown, but that's okay. So anyways, there's the Alfredo. I'm just gonna mix this up and everything, and then we're going to get everything plated. And I think this is what I enjoy the most, is plating it up. My mom would always put everything in bowls and have everybody serve themselves, but I like to plate it. You know, I have a little bit of the Parmesan Reggiano out, so I'm going to grate that, put a little bit of it on Andrew's too, and then have the buns to go along with it. And I enjoy this. This is part of the cooking for me. It's not the fanciest meals, but I really enjoyed it. There was no meat in it, and that's okay because we had the buns. We're going to taste test the banana muffins and everything. And this is what I want to share with you whenever I'm making making dinner. Like, this is how I make it all work. And when I'm organized and I know I'm not going to have a great big cleanup later that night, I'm going to enjoy one of the Pepsis. And this is what our dinner was. And then I'm going to test the banana bread too. So it's after dinner. Andrew had an ice cream cone, and Steve and I are going to have the banana bread with a nice cup of coffee and enjoy the news. So I cut it up. Honestly, this was one of the best banana breads I ever made. It was better than the muffins, with a little bit of texture with the walnuts and then like the chocolate chips. It was really good. I love this little loaf pan. I can't wait to try more with it. So anyways, it's later. This is the only coloring that I got done. I just wanted to start it, but I really want to try and do some different techniques in the colors and really enjoy it. So I think it'll be perfect for spring, but I'm not going to lie. I've already been looking on Amazon for one spring coloring book. I'm not getting a bunch because I don't know how much coloring I'm gonna do. So I broke down the banana bread. I put a couple of them in here. I want to freeze some. I know this is like a cheese dome or whatever, but I use it for my baked goods, and then I have the stuff in there with a towel over. It's gonna dry. My other rack, these buns, I think I'm probably gonna freeze them. And it's 7 o'clock because I have a goal that I want to watch curling. It was the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. It's Carrie Enerson from Manitoba, Rachel Homan from Ontario. She's Team Canada because she won last year. And I wanted to sit down and enjoy it. Curling. My dad curled. My mom always enjoyed watching it. Now she doesn't know what curling is. It makes me sad, but I'm going to use my time productive, and I have my calendars, my lists and everything. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to get organized and watch the curling. I will link this printable down below if you want to see more. March calendars are on there, but I have a couple of them for what my appointments and life and everything, and then my YouTube schedule and all that other stuff. So anyways, I got a little bit done. I have a good game plan and strategy. I'm all done. A couple of pieces of paper to go in the garbage. And it was time to just kind of put my feet up and enjoy the curling. And what a great game. It was really tight. And then Rachel Homan just made some amazing shots and she ended up winning. I really enjoyed taking the time with the weekend to be with my family, do all those other things, but also prioritizing everything so I can enjoy some curling. I know this is a longer video, but I was able to enjoy all of the time with my family and then share with you what I do in the kitchen. So if you want to see more videos like this, like, comment, and subscribe.